Hey guys, welcome to this week's portfolio update. I like to show my portfolio every week or every other week or something like that, as I think that sets me apart from other stock YouTubers out there and that I show my receipts. And right now, yeah, we are not doing so hot compared to last week. However, given everything that's going on in the market right now, the fact that I'm in the green at all, I'll take it. I am sitting at $65,834.68. I'm up 4.67% total. And like I said, given everything that's going on, like with the whole situation in Europe conflict, with the whole China COVID lockdown thing, with the inflation, with the impact of Fed raising interest rates, that finally starting to be felt. There's lots of things going on right now. You can throw a rock and probably run into a problem. And honestly, why is the market taking a downturn this week? We were doing pretty well a few weeks ago, but suddenly now the downturn, it's probably a combination of all of the above. Like, we're not exactly the best financial economic situation of all time. I don't think anyone will admit to that. But yeah, there are some gems, like Revolve is still holding up, Tapestry, Tesla is still holding up. Gevo, I'm down to only 8.6% loss, which I'll take. Palantir, I'm below a 20% loss, which, given Palantir, I'll deal with it. I'll handle it. ATT, we'll talk about this in a second. It says 22.5%, but that's on account of the whole AT&T WarnerMedia spinoff. So that finally concluded, technically at the end of the day, Friday. So what happened is that the price, a certain portion of AT&T stock price, was stripped away, and it was attached to a whole new stock called Warner Brothers Discovery, WBD. And you can see here that I sold it, and I'll get into why in just a second. As far as any recent moves I made, I bought some ARK today. I bought some Palantir. Bought some AT&T, of course. I, of course, sold Warner Brothers. Over the past week, I bought some Walgreens, and that's about it. And earlier, I bought some more Walgreens. So those are all of the recent-ish moves that I made. Now, why did I decide to sell Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the new stock, the new company that the WarnerMedia and Discovery thing became, obviously. Why did I decide to sell that? Now, I need to start off by saying that I don't have a bear case against this company. As a matter of fact, when I first bought AT&T, one of the things that I thought, made AT&T stand out was this whole WarnerMedia thing. I thought it was a great addition. I thought it helped AT&T stand out from its rivals, Verizon and T-Mobile, and I thought it was a great addition. And you can look at the news. WarnerMedia is very, very profitable. It's getting more and more hundreds of millions of subscribers and all that stuff. Like, it's doing very, very well. And in my humble opinion, I don't think AT&T should have spun off from WarnerMedia. I don't think so at all. Like I said, I think it's what made AT&T unique, and what gave AT&T its growth. Now, that being said, as far as my portfolio specifically, I have way too many stocks. I have 15 stocks, and earlier today, when AT&T spent the whole spinoff thing completed, I had a 16th stock. And honestly, I don't want to deal with a whole other stock. So it's a personal decision. I think WarnerMedia, Discovery, whatever, I think that the stock is going to do well. I just want to stick to my plan. And so when AT&T, after I did some thinking about a year ago, when the deal became known, I reconciled then that, you know what, I bought AT&T. And so I was going to stick with AT&T. And so once the spinoff happened, I took the money, and I took the 19, almost $2,000, and I poured it right back into AT&T. So nothing against the stock at all, nothing against the company. It's just a personal portfolio decision. Now, one thing I want to bring up with AT&T, if we go to the dividend view here, AT&T. Now you may note that, so AT&T was like 10, 11% yield. Then it cut his dividend back. Then it was at like a 4 or 5%. Now after the spinoff, the yield is 6.09%. And so me taking all that money from the whole Warner Bros. Discovery thing and spending that back into AT&T, yeah, that was no brainer because I didn't buy AT&T for 5xing or 10xing, although I think I will get some capital gains eventually out of this. I bought AT&T as a solid value / dividend stock. That's all I bought it for. And to see this, this is a 6.09% yield after the spinoff. That is not bad. And keep in mind, after after AT&T has spun off from, WarnerMedia and stuff, all the acquisitions and stuff that AT&T got itself into since 2015 that, depending on who you are, you may consider that a mistake. All the overhead that AT&T put on its plate is now gone. So right now, AT&T is a more agile company. It is just internet. It is just wireless. And so, theoretically, now that AT&T is just that, without any of the acquisitions holding it down with debt, AT&T should be in a great position to do much better over the next year or so. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but with the spinoff, AT&T also offloaded a portion of its debt. Now, I'm not gonna go look that up, but I think I remember that being the case. So if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think AT&T spun off a portion of its debt into that company as well. So right now, AT&T should be in a pristine position right now to jump off. Now, we'll see if AT&T actually does that over the next couple of quarters. But right now, we're looking like AT&T is in a really good position. And I bought all these new shares, so we're sitting at 425 shares. I bought into that right before the ex-dividend date. Yeah, these dividends are going to be really, really nice, and they're going to go right into stock. I think I did the calculation, did the math or so, and I think that's going to get me about 6 shares when I reinvest it back into the company. So yeah, I'm looking really good with AT&T, but we'll see if that continues. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.